Hi, my name is Grant Banham, and I'm here to provide you a brief tutorial on Libby. Libby is the central app used by the Washington County Libraries to provide access to thousands of ebooks and audiobooks to every patron that has a library card. Now, this tutorial will present the steps necessary to create an account, and then we'll use the program to check out and hold some books, and learn other little useful features that may come in handy. There's quite a bit to cover, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that comes up when you install the Libby app is a series of prompts that will guide you through creating a Libby account. The first page here asks you if you have a library card. Now, to use the full services of Libby, you do need either an e-access card that you can make online with your library, or a physical card or number that you have with you. In the case of this tutorial, we have a card, so we'll click Yes. The next screen that pops up provides you with three options for recognizing your account. The top option is to transfer the library card data from another device that already has Libby installed. If you haven't already used Libby on a device, you have two other options to locate your library. The first is a manual search, and the second is using location data to find out which library you are most likely using. Here, we will do a manual search for the Brookwood Library. As you can see, out of the list of libraries, Brookwood is the only one to come up when we type this one in. So with that, we will select it and move forward with creating our account. Here, since we have the necessary library card details to finalize the account creation, highlighted in red is our selection, which is to enter our library account details to finish up. As alternatives, you can request a library card and begin to go through the process of that, or you can skip the steps to access the basic features and selection of Libby without actually being able to check out anything. We will click on the red lettering to input our library card details, and then move forward. Here, after the information is put in, we are given a virtual library card that we can then use to check out books and audiobooks from Libby. You can also rename the card if you wish, just for organizational purposes. However, we will simply click Next as we have finished putting in all of our library card details. Now, this is the first page that comes up when you have finally completed your account. This is your library. Down the bottom left of the screen, you can see that the word Library is highlighted in red, which means that this is the tab we are on. There are two main tabs for Libby. You have the Library tab, which we're on, and the Shelf tab. The Library tab is the one where you can currently get all of the books and audiobooks that you want, and the Shelf tab is where they currently are checked out. So, without further ado, we can go ahead and start finding books to check out to put in our shelf. At the top, we have a search bar. Here, we can search for a specific title of a book that we want. This is usually the fastest and easiest way to find a book that you want to get. In this case, we will search for Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? As we've started typing that in, it fills in the rest of it for us. As you can see, it shows by title and series. We could alternatively search by author up there. It's a pretty versatile search engine. You also have the ability to find more options to sort by however you want to search it as well. But since we don't need any of these advanced options, we can just hide those and grab the Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep title. When we go here, this is the main page for the book itself. As you can see, we have the main book right here, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, where we have three options. You can place a hold, you can read a sample, or you can tag a book. Right up slightly higher, you can see that it's listing the two books and one audiobook matching Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. It has two fiction, two science fiction, and one literature, in of which you can tap on those and it'll start sorting by that number particularly. Now that we have this book found, we can go ahead and place a hold on it if we want. That means that when it has the option to place a hold on it, that there's no copies currently available. So we can go ahead and place a hold. We can read a sample of it, suspend a hold, keep browsing, or go to our shelf to look at what we have. In this case, we can go ahead and read a sample of the book. Now, since this is just a sample, it's a smaller section of the book, but it'll still give us the gist of how to move around in the actual book section. You can tap on the screen to read the whole thing. You can slide left or right to be able to find a certain page. Or you can tap on the screen once again, and then you have your options here. You can use the slider to drag around in a specific section or chapter of a book. You have the search option, which allows you to find something within the book specifically. You have the ability to bookmark that specific section of your book. And then you have the 3 additional options up in the corner where you can do your search, you can find a specific chapter, or you can look at your current bookmarks that you have. Along with that, there's additional reading settings as well, where you can modify the text scale or the lighting that you want there to be. There's a few additional bonus options down at the bottom where you can read more into it as well. But in this case, we'll go ahead and click Done, and then we can go here back to our library or our shelf. Let's keep looking around before we go to our shelf, so let's go to our library and find other books. On this page, it gives us a few more options of books that might be recommended for us with our title of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. It gives you the author and all the other things as well. As you can see, this one is also an audiobook, as it has the 2 little headphone symbols right underneath. We can tag that book as maybe interesting to us later, or just additional books to tag. There's 3 main tag options that you can do. You have the 3 book symbol, the thumbs up, and the thumbs down. You can add additional tags as well if you want to do something specific, but we can go with these main ones just to get the point across. We'll give this one the 3 book symbol as just saying maybe we'll want to read this one later. Now that we have all of that, we can go ahead and go back to our library all the way up to the top one more time. We can go there, and now we can keep searching. One way that you can search on almost every page as well is through preferences. You can click the little plus symbol and search by any of these formats. You can search by the format of the book. You can search by the language of the book, which you can scroll down on, of course. You can search by the audience, the compatibility of Libby or Kindle or Adobe, the availability, and then whatever you want to specifically sort by. So we can sort by popularity if we want to do that as well. You can apply those preferences, and then it's sorted by every list you go into in the future. Here at the top of the library, however, you can start scrolling down and we can see the popular books. Right now there's a Harry Potter event going on, so we can select one of those if we want to. You can see that there's the book and the audiobook next to it, and then the Spanish version right underneath. Right below that, we have what's new, what's popular, and what's available in these little chat symbols, in which you're able to tap on each one of those, so we can go to popular audiobooks, and it's sorting by our preferences, and you can start scrolling down and seeing what's currently popular. Once again, you can grab any one of these books by just tapping on it. You can look at it, see a sample of it, and read all of the information that you need about it. This book, as we can see, is 12 hours long. You can see the author and the narrator and the rating, and then other titles of what's popular as well underneath. If we move all the way back up to the top, we can see the wait time is about 9 weeks, so maybe we don't want to get that one yet, but we can tag it for just something to check out in the future as well. If we wanted to place a hold, we could do that by pressing place hold, but we don't need to. As we could also see the hold time, there's 422 people waiting in total. We can move back up to the top, click back on what's popular, and continue searching if we want to do that. If we want to continue going up, however, we can search by nonfiction if we want to switch the preferences there. We could search by biography and autobiography as well if we want to try and narrow that down even further, or modify our preferences right here. But in this case, we'll go ahead and click back and continue searching even lower. This begins to give us exploration options to be able to find ones that library members or staff members would recommend, and just popular books and subgenres as well. You can search by fiction or nonfiction, romance, or any of these main titles right here if you want to tap on those, or click back. There's additional subjects even lower, but in this case, I think we'll go all the way up to the top and go ahead and grab Harry Potter. We will grab the audiobook version of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, so we can go ahead and it's available, click borrow. It'll show our library card right there. We're borrowing it for 21 days. You can switch the amount of days that you want to do it as well, but you can click borrow right there. As soon as it's borrowed, it starts downloading, as you can see on the left-hand side right next to the book. You can open the audiobook immediately or keep browsing. There's nothing else left for us to really browse if we want to, so we can go right to our shelf. As we can see on our shelf, we have our loans, our holds, and our tags. We currently have 2 tags, so we can take a look at those. We have our 2 tags right here, where the Crawdads Sing and the Blade Runner one. We can sort by those tags if we want to, and we can also rename or delete them. We can as well go back and then take a look at what we're currently reading right now. We have the excerpt of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep that we can go through, and our recent loan of our audiobook itself. Audiobooks, if we open it, function pretty similarly to normal books. You can move the little slider to find the specific section of the book that you want. You can set the pace that you want it to be read at up at the top. You can switch it to disable after 30 minutes in a night mode. You can bookmark, of course, a section and make a note of it. And then finally, you can sort by the chapters or take a look at whatever bookmarks you have as well. But in this case, we'll go ahead and click back and then take a look at our shelf once again. On our holds, if we tap that, you have your Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. We can manage the hold that we have. We can suspend it, pause it for a certain amount of time, or cancel the hold altogether. We can again take a look and see our place in line for the book, and then the additional actions that we want to do as well. We can click back one more time and back to our main shelf page. We can go back to our library, of course, or whenever we're doing anything, we can go ahead, keep searching, or we can just click right on the book in the center again and continue reading or listening to whatever there is. There's a lot of advantages to using Libby altogether. You have a wide variety of books and audiobooks, and it's a fairly simple and intuitive process to be able to mess around with and find what you really want to do. It's a very versatile application, and I hope that this tutorial was easy enough to be able to understand the basics of how to move around in Libby. Thank you for your time.